Web accessibility ensures that your content is usable by all people, including those with disabilities. It focuses on usability and adherence to standards like WCAG or the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. WCAG is a globally recognized set of guidelines developed by the World Wide Web Consortium, or W3C, to make web content more accessible. These guidelines are designed to improve accessibility for individuals with hearing impairments, visual impairments like blindness, low vision, or color blindness, mobility or motor difficulties, or cognitive or learning disability. HTML offers built-in accessibility tools such as semantic elements, labels, and ARIA attributes. Below are some best practices to help ensure your site is accessible. Use semantic HTML. Semantic elements describe their function in the document structure. They help assistive technologies understand and communicate the content's purpose. Use things like header, nav, and button instead of unsemantic tags like div or span. Label all form elements. Every input field should have a clear label, and the for attribute in the label should match the ID of the corresponding input. Avoid using placeholder text as a label. It disappears when users type and may not be read by screen readers. Use alternative text for images. Provide descriptive alt text for meaningful images. Use an empty alt with empty quotes for any decorative images so the screen reader can skip them. Ensure sufficient color contrast. Text should have enough contrast against the background to be readable by the users with low vision or color blindness. Make your content keyboard accessible, meaning all functionality must be operable using only the keyboard without needing a mouse or touch input. This includes using native HTML elements such as button, A, or input. These elements are inherently accessible using tab, enter, or space. They work naturally with screen readers. Avoid using mouse-only events like on-click, on-mouse over, etc. Don't use something like an unsemantic element like a div with an on-click to submit the form when you could use a button semantic element with the type submit that would not need any extra on-click. Use headings to structure the content. Using headings H1 through H6 to organize content logically and hierarchically. This helps screen reader users understand the structure of the page and navigate more easily. Provide meaningful link text. Make sure link text describes the link's purpose. A good example would be to describe what the link is doing, and some bad examples might be something like click here. Include captions and transcripts. Multimedia content should be accessible to users with hearing impairments. Videos should include captions, and audio-only content should include transcripts. Test with assistive technologies to ensure that your content is accessible. Use keyboard-only navigation. Test with screen readers like NVIDIA or VoiceOver. Check contrast ratios, and use accessibility tools like Axe, Lighthouse, or Wave. Use ARIA only when necessary. The ARIA, Accessible Rich Internet Applications specification, provides attributes to enhance accessibility, but it should be used sparingly and only when native HTML cannot achieve the desired effect. As modern websites and applications become increasingly dynamic and interactive, they often use custom components that are not inherently accessible to users relying on assistive technologies. ARIA is the set of attributes defined that help bridge the gap between custom elements and accessibility by providing additional semantic meaning to HTML elements. Without ARIA, many custom-built components like modals, sliders, tab panels, and dropdowns are invisible or unusable to assistive technology. ARIA provides the missing information to ensure full accessibility and compliance with standards like WCAG. ARIA provides information to assistive technology like screen readers about roles, what an element is or does, states, the current condition of a component, or properties, additional characteristics, or relationships. Here are some common ARIA attributes that you might use. ARIA label could provide a custom label. ARIA hidden will hide elements from assistive technology. ARIA expanded indicates whether an element is collapsed or not. And ARIA checked shows the state of checkboxes or radio buttons. ARIA live declares a region on the page as dynamic or live. And ARIA described by points to text that describes an element. Here's an example of a button that is using an ARIA described by. The HTML doesn't include a semantic tooltip element, so ARIA can fill that gap. The button has ARIA described by equals tip 1, linking it to the tooltip content. The button linked to the tooltip with ARIA described and the role tooltip makes it understandable to screen readers. Here's an example that can communicate the current condition of an element. It's used when creating collapsible elements like drop-downs or accordion. This allows assistive technology to recognize if the section is visible and updates the interface dynamically. Remember, use semantic HTML when possible, like buttons, navs, and forms, and use ARIA only when necessary. Such as when building custom components, ARIA should enhance and not replace native HTML accessibility. Let's take a look at what this might look like. So here is that Show Details button that we have here, and right now it is not expanded, it is collapsed. And if I turn on my VoiceOver.
Welcome to VoiceOver.
VoiceOver on system settings. VoiceOver window. Sidebar.
Okay.
Table.
And if I
Chrome.
go to
show details.
this
Collapsed button.
It says
You are show details. Expanded button. Show details. Collapsed button.
So
show
it can-
details. Expanded button.
okay, so if
VoiceOver
you,
off.
so if you heard that, it was telling if it was collapsed or expanded. Therefore, it would let the user know that there is content there or something is happening. And that's important with a screen reader. So always remember, by following accessibility best practices, you can make content more usable for all, you can comply with the WCAG standards, and you can improve the experience for users of all abilities. Use semantic HTML first and use ARIA only when necessary, and always test your work.